This dry ice demonstration is called putting out a candle with dry ice. So I'm going to do this demonstration, we're going to talk about it, but first I want to mention at the end of this video there's a safety portion where I talk about dealing with dry ice. Please make sure that you watch that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a candle, we're going to light the candle, and then we're going to allow the dry ice to put it out. What I've got for this is a beaker. You could use a cup. You've got to have a candle. You need a candle that's going to go down into the cup a little ways. The candle can't be taller than the cup itself. You need some water that you're going to put into the bottom of this. And I've also got a setup off to the side here. If you wanted to run this on a large scale, I'll just talk about the setup for it. Okay? Usually if you have something large like this, it's nice to put some little tea candles. Put like 5 or 6 of them in here, and then when you take the dry ice and you set it on one side, the neat thing is you can kind of see the candles going out as the carbon dioxide gas is being produced. So a little bit of science there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a candle, I'm going to put it in here. Actually, I'm going to put the water in first, and then I'm going to put a little bit of candle in there. You don't need much water, just a tiny bit at the bottom. So here's my candle. I'm going to go in, I'm going to try to light this candle. And there we go. So I now have this, and I'm going to take some dry ice and I'm going to drop it down in the water here, and we're going to notice that it's going to put the candle out. So here's my dry ice right here, and I don't want the water to splash on it, so I'm going to try to ease it down the side there, and you'll notice it puts it out. So right now, and in fact right now it's kind of hard to see where the candle's at, but if I wanted to go back in and try to light it right now, I would struggle to do that. So if I were to take this, we've got the lighter's lit, I've got this going. As I bring this down inside, it goes out. So I've got my lighter, I'm trying to bring it down inside, and it goes out. One more time, if I were to try to go down in there, there's no way I can get it in there. So with this demonstration right here, what's happening is that we have carbon dioxide in solid form. That's dry ice, changing over to carbon dioxide in the gas form. And that is displacing the oxygen. It's moving the oxygen out of the way. For something to burn, we've got to have a fuel. Okay, so in this case right down here, we've got the wax. You've got to have ignition, which we've got ignition. So right here, okay, so this was there to light it, and the third thing that you have to have for combustion is you've got to have oxygen. In fact, many fire extinguishers, they work by throwing carbon dioxide at the source of the fire. So when you're throwing carbon dioxide there, what that does is it pushes the oxygen out of the way. You push the oxygen out of the way, it can't burn. So this demonstration right here has a lot to do with the carbon dioxide pushing the oxygen out of the way. Okay, so I'm not going to do it on a large scale here, but you would just throw some water in there. And again, if you wanted to see this move from one side to the other, just drop your dry ice on one side and you'll see that spreading across. Just watched, I was working with dry ice. What I want to do is I want to talk about the safety of dry ice, but this is not all inclusive. I would encourage you to also check the safety data sheets on carbon dioxide on dry ice yourself. So let me tell you some of the things that I do, but I would encourage you to go above and beyond what I've got. Okay, so you notice I've got some safety glasses, goggles, those would be a nice thing to have. Also gloves. You should probably be having gloves for this if you're going to be handling them for a long time or applying some pressure, because dry ice right here, this sublimates, which means it goes from a solid to a gas at a very low temperature. So in Fahrenheit, that's negative 109.3 degrees Fahrenheit. In degrees Celsius, it's a negative 78.5 degrees Celsius. So this is really, really, really cold. So if you go outside on a snowy day, you know, you could get frostbite if you're out there for a long time. Or even if you have ice on you, you've got a little while. But with this right here, this dry ice, without gloves, if I set this in my hand, right about there, that's about how long you have until it's going to start hurting, because it could be harmful beyond that point. It could actually freeze your cells and we could have some serious damage. So as you're working with dry ice, you need to have gloves. Thin gloves like this aren't going to do the trick. Even if you have gloves like this, So maybe some kitchen gloves for doing the dishes. This right here, it's not very thick and it's not going to protect you for very long. So warm gloves like this, snow gloves or an oven mitt, those are things that will protect your hands if you're going to be working with this. Now if you've worked with dry ice quite a bit, or if you want to work with dry ice quite a bit, and if you look at me right now, I've got the dry ice and I keep it moving. And if it keeps moving where it's not coming into contact with my hands for very long, then I'm okay. But again, if I take it and I set it right here, right about there, that's when it's going to start to sting. So I don't know what that was, maybe about 2 to 3 seconds. That's something that you need to be really careful about with dry ice. Now I've seen videos before and I've seen people take this, they'll put it in their mouth and they'll do the same thing. They'll move it around and they'll blow out, smoke, carbon dioxide smoke. Don't do that. That's not very smart. All right, so the safety of dry ice, please be safe.